WackMatters is brought to you by Audible.com. If you go to audibletrial.com/WackMatters, you can sign up for a free 30-day trial where you can test out Audible's awesome audiobook monthly subscription service. Make sure to go to audibletrial.com/WackMatters.
Welcome back to the Pickup Artist, Karsten. Thank you for being who you are, our guest on the show that we're interviewing today, our expert, if you will. Hit us up with your number one tip for getting those girls.
Just don't do anything, she'll come to you.
That is a special kind of bad advice.
No, okay.
Like,
well, what you should really do: dress up as a cute anime character, and then just act like said character.
No, don't. What about this one? You just do like the King Batch from the Funny Vine app, and you just go, "Hey, yo, Mark, let me get your number." Is that how you get girls? So
he struggles to get the ladies, but dating's a breeze in my watermelon Mercedes. Some good old Marlon Webb. We're bringing back Vine stuff.
So the trick to getting girls is you gotta have
a catch. Because you see, the thing is just like, your boyfriend may be great, but can he do this? It's only $3.99.
You can't do visual bits with
okay, but the thing is,
podcast.
Anyone who would understand the joke knows what I'm talking about.
Here's the trick.
So they don't need it. They can see it in their head.
Here's the trick to getting girls. Girls don't want you to be yourself. They want you to have a gimmick. You need to have a gimmick.
My gimmick is I'm a bumbling buffoon who can never compose myself in front of a woman.
Which is just super not true. Karsten has to try hard to act that way.
Sure.
Yeah, so like my gimmick is just being like really attractive and funny and smart and good at everything. And kind of just like really... This is a dumb intro. This is Toon In. This is the podcast where we talk about...
We just bombed that.
Cartoon. Well, the thing was... It was the problem with that intro.
It's not as bad as the poetry intro we recorded a couple episodes ago and just didn't use.
We held on to that intro too long.
Yeah.
To the instance where it just sounded like we were doing a bad other show that just sucked and was bad. It sounded less like a bit and more just bad.
Here, let's try something else. Hey, Marcus, you watch cartoons? Cool, so do I. Let's talk about cartoons.
To the extent that, like, somebody be like, Toon In, what?
Tune in your relationship game. Get that fine-tune your skills.
This is Toon In, this is the dang it, frick. Dang it.
Watch your profanity.
This is Toon In. This is the podcast where we talk about cartoons or all ages shows that are mature enough for adults to like, that talk about mature and heavier things, but do it in such a way that is okay for children to partake in. I am your host, Marcus.
I got really scared there. I thought I was going to hurt myself. Okay.
This is my co-host,
Marcus.
Karsten.
Yeet.
We are talking about the TV show Justice League Unlimited. We are working our way through Season 1. We have started working our way through Season 1 at Episode 6 of Toon In. This is now Episode 12.
Yes.
So, if you don't want any spoilers or want to hear our whole discussion on Justice League Unlimited, you got to go back to Episode 6. If you don't mind about the spoilers, go ahead and jump right on into this particular episode. The first episode we are going to be talking about is...
The Once and Future Thing.
Karsten, give us a rundown.
So, basically, this episode starts out with a guy in an unhappy relationship. And he was in that unhappy relationship because he just didn't really fine-tune his courting skills all that well. He didn't know how to... So, I guess our intro kind of was relevant.
You got it, dude. Full circle.
Yeah.
Circle eats the square.
Yes. So, this guy, he's out in his garage messing around with stuff, and his wife comes out, and she's just like... and whining about.
Okay, and when Karsten does that voice, that's not like all girls are nags and stuff.
No.
His wife is verbally and emotionally abusive to him, and does like have a very whiny, like you're the worst voice.
I promise I'm not making a sexist comment.
Yeah, no, she's the worst.
She is actually very horrible. So, and he's out there just like, well, you see, the thing is, but he can't really say anything because she just keeps yelling at him. And she has this collection of these historic things out in his garage. And she's just like, well, how'd you get these? Because your job certainly wouldn't pay for this because you didn't get the good job. You got this job.
I should have, and then she says things along the lines of, I should have married somebody else. Like by name, she names a different person she should have married.
Yeah. And it's kind of awkward.
Yeah, it's super aggressive stuff.
But what you gonna do? Seinfeld outro plays. That was horrible.
That's how it sounds.
No.
No, fine. You give me your best acapella Seinfeld.
Am I thinking of a different song?
You've not Seinfeld, dude.
Dang it! I'm thinking of oh, yeah, you're right. I am thinking. Oh, heck.
What were you thinking of?
Not Seinfeld.
I was like, I mean, I didn't do a good job, but like...
Oof. Mega oof. You know, maybe I shouldn't suggest this podcast to my friends.
No, dude, you gots to. It's okay. I'll say something super dumb later for sure.
Make up for it.
So then she yells at him a whole bunch, and he time travels away.
Yeah, because he invented time travel, and she gets mad at him for inventing time travel but not doing anything important. And she's just like, well, you see, you can't really do the stuff that you want me to do because that messes with the time-space continuum and all that stuff, and you gotta be careful. So he runs away from her through time, and then ends up trying to steal Batman's utility belt.
And we get one of the best freaking sequences, I think, in this show, where we see, like, small talk between Green Lantern and Batman, where they're talking about lady issues, about how it's awkward having Shire Hall back on the Watchtower, and how he's dating Vixen now, and how there's a very clear, like...
tension
between Batman and Wonder Woman and stuff. Like, the whole thing is very good and awkward and fun to watch. It's a moment that is just very choice that I wanted to highlight and make sure we didn't forget. And there's also some freaking hardcore aggression coming from Wonder Woman towards Shire Hall.
Mm-hmm.
She's miffed, dude. It's just real fun to see, like, butt heads and also, like, small talk and things.
Mm-hmm. So, they're doing that, and then there's a break-in in the locker room because this time traveler guy is trying to steal Batman's utility belt. And they almost catch him, but he jumps back into the time stream, and they chase after him, and they all end up in the Wild West.
Ba-da-doo-doo. Ba-da-doo-doo.
What's the final countdown?
Ba-da-doo-doo.
It's
Turn
the
down for what?
Wild West now.
Dude, kill it, dude. We're the next Pentatonics, homie.
Yeah. Yay me. I can amount to something eventually.
Yeah, Mom. I just told you I could amount to something.
You know, maybe we should start recording these earlier in the day so I'm not, like, dead tired.
So we're not just... No, I think this helps, dude.
Whatever, man. Let's just start recording these at, like, 2 a.m.
No, that'd be too... That'd be too late because I would just fall asleep. We'd just be sitting here and you would be saying things to me and be like, yep, out.
And then I would just lose my filter and just start...
Just cussing.
No.
You would just be like... you'd be like, guts. Did you see it was a Ramones and Beezus joke? Because she said she's going to do it. No. Good one.
I remember that. Yeah.
I think we should start doing this as a video podcast as well. And not that we do video bits. It's just, I think at some points...
Sometimes you gotta know what's happening.
We fall apart as a unit, as like a team that is like presenting... like. So if you think about this podcast as like improv comedy in the way that like our whole sketch is we have to talk about this TV show and get through the episode, but also we have to figure out ways to be funny and entertaining. So that's sort of what we're doing, right? I think sometimes our facial expressions and the things that we do and say and the way that we just look at each other and we'll just forget
I haven't
words
taken my eyes off of you this entire session.
stuff. We just kind of fall apart as a team sometimes, I think, or look very incompetent by some of the things that we're doing.
Yep.
Well, I think it would be
I've been
good.
taking selfies for half this episode, still haven't got the perfect one.
That is true. He keeps trying again, though. Every time I talk for an extended period of time, Karsten's like, God, get quick, gotta try this again. So,
let's do this.
We'll see how it goes.
Yeah, so, oh crap, where were we?
They just went to the Wild West.
Okay, so
And
in the
then I
Wild
started
West.
having the final countdown for some reason.
Yeah. So in the Wild West, and they're just like, okay, we need to figure out what's going on here. So they jump into a saloon, and just like, there are these guys playing poker, and this one guy loses, so he pulls out this futuristic gun, and Batman's just like, oh no, this ain't good. And they end up, this guy has the people of the town arrest the dude that actually won, and the guy's just like, no, dude, I'll just give you the money, just don't
Can you
hurt
just
me.
be cool for a second?
Yeah. And the guy's just like, no, hang him in the morning. And Wonder Woman's just like, we gotta help him. And Batman's just like, nah, that'd mess with the time-space continuum. Let him die.
And then Wonder Woman's like, we're gonna help him. And it's like, okay. And then Green Lantern laughs because Batman's sort of whipped, and he's freaking, they're not even dating, and he's whipped.
Yeah.
Good one.
Yep.
And then they start to, they find the guy that they were chasing originally, and he tells them about how that you jumped in the time stream seconds after I left, blah, 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 you got here 6 months after me, so now, I'm in jail, and I help this ruffian essentially solve some of the future technology that he doesn't understand or can't figure out himself. So as they're kind of staging a breakout to save that guy, like, well, we need you so you can work the belt to get us back to our own time. They all get attacked, and there's a giant shootout, and then we get a bunch of Wild West characters from DC, like John Wayne McClintock and John Wayne versus the Native Americans and Pinkerton.
Yes.
I don't remember any of their names. There's Jonah Hex, I think a character that was introduced for this episode alone, and then El Diablo, who I think is a pre-existing character, and then a different pre-existing character I also don't remember the name of. It's really fun, and then he tells them a story about how he was the sheriff, and this guy came, and he was a ruffian, and then all of a sudden he had all these guns, and he beat me up and ran me out of town. I'm trying to take my town back and make everything better for everybody. And then they go and they stage a small coup, essentially, on all of these robot dinosaurs. And it's really cool and really fun to see, and there's lots of robots, and you see Batman do lots of cool stunts and tricks with his freaking back katana things, and you see Green Lantern do some cool stuff. Like, it's a really fun episode. You see a lot of cool gimmicks and things like that. And of course, the good guys win, but the last second, as Batman's trying to get the belt to work, Kronos walks up and he's like, you didn't calibrate the, and then he hits a button.
The thingamajigger, and then it shocks Batman, and the guy takes the belt, he's like, haha, suckers, and then he jumps into the time stream.
Out.
And then they jump in after him, and then
they go to the
all of a
future
sudden,
this
to
time.
be continued.
They go to the future this time.
Yeah.
And you see the Joker gang from Batman Beyond. And also, you see some heroes like Batman from Batman the Beyond. So Terry McGinnis, voiced by Daniel something, the same guy.
Daniel Radcliffe.
Who does Eric Matthews. That's going to pick up every time you drop that.
Oh no. What have I done?
Played by, he's the guy who's Eric Matthews in Boy Meets World. There is Static Shock, who's old now with dreads.
I'm going to be honest, I had no idea he was a DC character until just recently. I thought he was like a standalone character that had a TV show back when I was a kid.
I was about to ask if that's how you knew him from.
Yeah.
Because you're like, oh, it's Static Shock. Yeah, he's cool. And then also a character named Warhawk, who sees Jon Stewart and
Green Hawk.
goes, Dad.
Lantern Girl.
What? It's him and Shire's kid. What? Time wobbler.
Wibbly wobbly timey wimey stuff.
And then they all get into a fight with the Joker gang, who has weird powers.
And they get their butt kicked.
And then they bail, and they go and find out that Kronos essentially screwed everything up.
And is now the ruler of Gotham City.
And
just Gotham City, though.
And killed all of the Justice League and stuff like that. So, like, the only people from the Justice League who are left are the people we mentioned and old Batman. Or old Bruce Wayne.
You think the U.S. government would have tried to do something to stop him from taking over Gotham City? Or they're just like, nah, man, it's Gotham City.
No, dude,
that's outside of our jurisdiction.
Have you seen freaking Dark Knight Rises? Build a perimeter around. Don't let anybody out. They're boned. Whatever.
I guess. Fair point.
So then it turns out that, oh no, one of the bad guys did a different bad thing and double-crossed the other bad guys, and he gets killed by the meteor that killed the dinosaurs. And then people start to disappear, because the time streams turn into fluid.
And then Green Lantern turns into Deadpool.
Yeah, the Hal Jordan joke, I get it.
Yeah.
Good one.
Yes. Literally my notes just says Deadpool.
Deadpool. Wonder Woman disappears. And then there's a cool scene where Batman is about to leave. They're like, you can't leave, everything's different. And he goes, are criminals still stupid, superstitious, and cowardly? And everybody's like, huh? And old Bruce Wayne's like, yes. And then Batman's like, then not much has changed. And he walks out. And then they go and they find the creepy looking one, the freaking Gerard Way stand-in, from the Joker gang. And Batman tries to interrogate him, and then Bruce goes, I can't believe I was ever that soft, old Bruce Wayne at this point, and then walks toward the guy holding his cane. It does a cut, and the guy is spilling his guts the next scene.
It's like they just straight up beat the child with the stick.
Got him, dude. Gots to. There's a funny joke where he talks about how he wet the bed till he was 12.
Unnecessary.
It's funny, though.
Okay.
It was a little funny.
It was funny.
I thought it was funny.
Maybe because you're 12.
Yeah, essentially.
Essentially.
And then, what happens next?
So then, what they do is, this guy, he's just like, okay, well, I don't know where Cronus is, but I know where his wife is. And so they take him to Kronos' wife, and at this point, Kronos' wife is all fed up with Kronos, because he's basically gone crazy at this point. So she's just like, yeah, he still sucks. He's still a horrible trash human being. I'll help you rat him out. And so she takes him to where he is, and they try and fight him, but he jumps into the time stream again, and then all of a sudden reality starts falling apart, and dinosaurs and mammoths are popping up, and the sky is dissolving into nothing. This guy's all just like, Mr. Stark, I don't want to go, and. What?
They jump.
You look like
in.
you wanted to say something.
No.
Oh, okay, so I'll keep going.
I was trying to not laugh at your joke.
Okay, so then he jumps into the time stream again, and Green Lantern and Batman chase after him. But this time, he's alluded to the fact that he's going to go to the beginning of time, and he's going to reset everything. And Green Lantern's just like, we can't let him do that. He'll basically make himself God. So they're chasing after him, and Green Lantern reveals to Batman that one of the rules of the Green Lantern is no one is allowed to see the beginning of time. So Green Lantern makes some Green Lantern handcuffs, and Green Lantern handcuffs the Green Lantern uses his Green Lantern handcuffs to Green Lantern handcuff the Kronos guy, and
then Batman.
And then it just cuts. They're back in the Batman and Green Lantern are back in the cafeteria, as if nothing happened.
He programmed
Oh yeah, Batman put a new programming
thing.
chip. Yeah, he programmed a virus into the belt at the last second. And then we end up back at the cafeteria, and Batman and Green Lantern are the only ones
who remember what happened.
Remember anything that happened.
And like Green Lantern has a nasty cut on his forehead, and Wonder Woman's like, you should go get that checked out. Like, what? And then, but he goes there like, what did you do to Kronos' time belt anyway? And at the first episode of the two-parter, she yells at him. She's like, "You worthless, good for nothing, giant waste of space. You invented a time machine. I can't think of anything useful to do with it." And he goes, "I can think of one thing. I can use it to get away from you." But with the virus or whatever that Batman
It
programmed
always
in,
loops him back
it
to
just
that point.
loops him back to that point, so he freaking just is internally getting yelled at by his wife.
Mm-hmm.
Which is a very horrible, gross thing to do if you think about it. For the rest of everything, you're going to time travel over and over and over to this time your wife belittled you and made you feel bad. Again and again and again and again and again and again.
Serves him right, though. He almost destroyed reality. Like, the entirety of reality.
I can get behind that.
Like, that's, like, almost worse than what Thanos did.
Almost. Well, it's double as bad. Because he only killed half of everyone.
Yeah, this guy almost killed literally everyone.
All of everyone. Yeah, see, crazy. Also, I didn't like these episodes like that much as a kid. I think they're really fun now. I like them more now as an adult. Like, I never hated them, but I was like, oh, they're okay. Like, they're fine. Like, I think they're both really fun, good episodes that I enjoy a lot, actually. What was your opinion of them?
I enjoyed them. I mean, I have trouble with time travel stuff because...
It doesn't make any sense?
No. I'm one of those time travel nerds that's, like, very picky about the specifics of time travel and the repercussions that can be caused by even the slightest thing. So every time time travel is involved in an episode, I kind of just have a mental break. Like, I just kind of have, like, an emotional breakdown. Just like, that's not how any of this works. And
Carson has a small existential crisis of self when he has to watch time travel logic.
Okay, the thing is, there was this movie that I saw once. I can't remember what the movie was called, but basically, the movie gave me an ulcer because of how horrible its time travel physics were.
Doctor Who Christmas Special?
No.
The other Doctor Who Christmas
Basically, I'll tell you about the movie later, because I don't want to take up the rest of this episode talking about this movie when we're supposed to be talking about cartoons, but it was bad. Like, it hurt. It hurt to watch.
I think that's all that happens, right? They're good episodes. I enjoyed them.
Yeah, they were.
Was there any super good moments you wanted to highlight?
I don't know, just kind of the whole Wild West section was pretty fun.
It was fun, yeah.
But I also really liked the future stuff too, because it was neat seeing the older characters.
I freaking love old Bruce Wayne.
Mm-hmm.
As a character, like Kevin Conroy.
Kanye West, is that what you were about to say?
Yeah. Kevin Conroy, like, as, like, Batman, like, his old grizzled man is so good. It's fun to hear. So I like Batman Beyond a lot. All in all, solid episodes. You could skip them. I would say don't. They're better than most
It ain't
filler.
no boat episode.
Yeah, they're better than most filler, but they're, like, really fun. But, like, if you are just trying to mainline the story for Justice League Unlimited or something, no story things happen. So, take it or leave it. As far as filler goes, really fun, interesting filler. Well, not interesting per se, fun to watch. Some good action movie popcorn, empty but fun filler.
It was definitely not one of those episodes that did not deserve to be a two-parter.
Yeah. So, it was good. If you listened to this today and you would like to help us out, feel free to go to the WackMatters website and click on that merch button. We got some of those t-shirts and
we got some sweaties
for you.
Yeah,
nice. We got the new sweaties out here for the winter cold times. Make a good Christmas gift, I'd say.
Yeah.
There's also a donate button on there if you just kind of want to throw some money our way. You don't necessarily want a t-shirt or don't want to spend as much as a t-shirt costs or a sweaty costs. You can just toss some money our way if you feel so inclined. But also another way that's just super helpful, if you could hit that like button, hit the share button, comment.
Yeah, just
anything like that.
Tell your friends about us.
Yeah, if you can rate this show on iTunes or anything that has a rating mechanic, just that kind of stuff. The more Michael talks to me about this and we kind of look into it and things, the more I realize how useful and important that is. Like, I used to not be the person who was like, okay, like, I don't need to like it, I don't need to do any of that stuff. But a little bit does go a long way, actually, as far as that stuff's concerned, and the more we look into it, the more we realize that stuff's really important and useful. So, if you did like it, and you have the time...
Smash that like button.
Yeah, smash the like button. subscribe, do kind of like all like those things. It takes a few seconds.
Donate.
But if you can help us out like that, it does help more than you think that it does. Would be very appreciative of that. There's 2 more things we'd like to ask you to do real quick. That first one's going to be...
sub to PewDiePie. We can't let T-Series win.
Go sub to Pewds. We can't let T-Series... Anything helps, man. Anything helps. We're not very big. Counts. Every last one subscriber.
We need all 3 of you to subscribe to PewDiePie.
Mrs. Miller, Ray.
Mrs. Nip.
We need you to go sub. Mom doesn't listen. My mom doesn't listen. Hey, Mrs. Miller, you need to yell at my mom for not listening to me and your son's show. What the heck's that about?
I guess they aren't as good of friends as we thought.
Yeah, gosh. But that last thing we have to ask you to do is remember to
tune in next time. That sounded super corny, but I don't care.
It sounds corny every time, dude. Every time we get it to work.
Thanks for listening to the podcast that we produce here at WackMatters.com. Just in case you didn't know, we have a lot of different shows running right now. There's Life's What You Rate It, where me and my brother Mark rate everything on a scale from 1 to 10 that exists in the entire universe. Toon In, where Marcus and his friend Karsten talk about cartoons and their value for people of all ages. Of course, Whack Tracks, where me and a bunch of friends make commentary tracks for whatever shows or movies we might be into at the time. And our newest show on the network, The Music Matters, where my friend Trevor creates a discussion around all the matters relating to music. If you'd like to support the content we make here at WackMatters.com, please go to WackMatters.storemv.com and check out our merchandise section. We sell t-shirts right now, and there's more merchandise to come. Even if you don't want to buy a t-shirt, there is a donate button at WackMatters.com that you can use to support the content that we already make and to help fund creative ideas for the future. Additionally, this podcast is also brought to you by Audible.com. If you go to audibletrial.com/WackMatters, you can sign up for a free 30-day trial with Audible.com where you get to listen to a free audiobook of your choosing and can continue subscribing for an awesome audiobook content subscription. Remember, that's audibletrial.com/WackMatters. We love you all and hope you will continue checking out the content we make here at WackMatters.com. Have a great day.